gathered again to celebrate here the liberation of Palestine and announcing Palestine as a single land and as an independent land, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair for coming every week. Please continue to do so. Please don't get used to what we are seeing and watching every day on the news. Please spread the cause and come from the bottom of your heart. This is not only for supporting them, but even for yourself. But even in front of the history. But even to feel that you are a real human. That when your children or grandchildren ask you in the future, what did you do? You say, at least I spoke up and said the truth. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah reward all of you and see you inshallah in the next talk.
Thank you, Muhammad. A big round of applause. Muhammad, these are such very important words for you to remember. Legacies are being made now. Legacies are being made. The people that fought against apartheid South Africa were heroes. Those that stood with apartheid South Africa were able to hide the fact that they supported apartheid South Africa. Those legacies were whitewashed. Today we are keeping receipts. We are keeping receipts. Those war criminals, those genocide enablers will never be able to whitewash their legacies. Forever, Biden and all of that entire US administration through to the Australian government and everyone else that has participated in enabling this genocide to occur will never be able to wash the blood of the innocent men, women and children. They will never get to wash that blood of their legacies, my friends, and each of you will hold your heads up high for eternity, knowing that you stood for truth, you stood for humanity, you stood together with oppressed people all over this earth to protect humanity. And a deep, deep sense of gratitude from myself as a Palestinian, but myself as a human being and all human beings. My friends, we need to keep this fight going. Next up, we've got Basil Ghazes, who's a Palestinian refugee who's been calling Australia home for over 18 years. A son to refugee parents, he's a civil engineer who's previously been a member of numerous student and Islamic organisations in Melbourne and has taken part in a number of different direct actions in our rallies. A big round of applause for Basil. Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the blessings and peace of Allah be upon everyone here today. We extend our peace and blessing to the owners of the land in which we meet today and to their elders past, present, emerging and those who may be amongst us today. Before I start, I'd like to take about 10 seconds of silence so everyone can reflect as to why on a 40-degree day you're actually here today. Towards the end of February 2011, a group of students in the city of Daraa in southern Syria wrote a few phrases on the walls of their school in support of the Arab Spring that was spreading through the Middle East. They were arrested, tortured, and disappeared. The Director General of the Political Security Agency at the time, a relative of the President, told the families to forget about their kids and go and give birth to other ones. A couple of weeks later, a call out was put out on social media by a group of activists for a countrywide protest on the 18th of March. People got out, the people of Daraa got out, and everyone in the country got out. The government responded with live ammunition, killing people. And the first two to be killed are people who you may never have heard of, are Hussam Ayyash and Mahmoud Jawabi. 14 years went by of civil war. Over 500,000 people, at best estimates, were killed. Millions tortured, displaced, left the country. And 14 years of civil war. And finally, on the 8th of December 2024, the Assad family that ran the country like a privately owned family business left the country, leaving the Syrians to decide their own fate. Argue all you want about who's right and who's wrong. What cannot be argued is that oppression must come to an end, and that the will of the people and those who are governed is what decides what happens. We cannot argue what someone was said. Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of those who are oppressing them. If you are not sure, ask the Aboriginals of this land what it takes to endure over 300 years of oppression. If you're not sure, ask the Palestinians what it takes to fight for your rights and human rights for over 75 years. If you're not sure, ask the Syrians what it takes to live under brutality for 50 years and to go through 15 years of a civil war. Ask the Gazans who are standing right now in the cold face of a genocide what it takes to stand firm, let alone stand up after 456 days of genocide as of today. They'll tell you the road to liberation is no walk in the park. They'll tell you the road to liberation starts with liberating our minds and purifying our intentions. They'll tell you you'll need to build a community and treat those who fight alongside you as your own brothers and sisters, and to whom you owe a duty of care, respect and protection. They'll tell you you'll need the mental, moral and psychological strength to fight your own whims and desires and animalistic instincts. They'll tell you you'll need active political participation, lobbying and educating the wider public and media exposure. They'll tell you you will get tired, you will wear out, you will despair, there will be division and disagreements, there will be parasites that lurk under the surface, there will be people with ill intentions, and you will reach a breaking point where everything may fall apart. But they'll also tell you that liberation of the land is not about a t-shirt or an event or a flag or a logo or a post or a song. Liberation is unmovable religious belief in fundamental principles that you fight for. Liberation is an ideology that is carved in stone over years of education, reading, political participation, study circles and political discussions. Liberation is working alongside those you may like and those you may dislike, those you agree with and those you disagree with, to achieve the common goal and to build a movement. Liberation starts at the individual level, on how we think, how we interact with each other, and how we conduct our business and carry on with our lives. Liberation is about engaging in political parties and campaigns. It's about educating the wider public about our cause, and it's about organising and partaking in meaningful events and actions that engage with the rest of the community. Liberation is about turning up to a rally on a 40-degree day for over a year and keeping that fire burning. We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest with ourselves. Liberating Palestine will not be by me or anyone here. Palestine has its own men and women on the ground. Our duty is to hold our government responsible for its part, to educate the wider public, and to provide every support that the Palestinians need so that they can continue their struggle and we can spread this awareness to the rest of the world and fight for all oppressed people. Our government, in its failure to take any meaningful action to support the Palestinians, doubled down in its failure by introducing or proposing laws that will restrict this movement and is tailored to bring this rally to an end. So it is our duty to hold them accountable. Laws which are tailored to target the protest and break this movement apart laws which will impact future protests and future causes that we fight for, and erode our civil liberties that we have been fighting for years and years. Now more than ever, we need to turn up. Now more than ever, we need to be united and firm and stand firm in the challenges that are thrown on us. Now more than ever, we need to turn up every Sunday, bring those who we know, bring our colleagues, bring our families, and continue this fire burning. Now more than ever, we need to renew our pledge to carry the voices of the Palestinians and all oppressed people around the world. And now more than ever, we must organize better, we must unite stronger, and we must scream louder, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Thank you.
Thank you, Basil. Big round of applause for Basil again. That was fantastic. My friends, we're about to start marching, but it's important we reiterate these common beliefs and understandings of our movement. We are an anti-racist movement, an anti-hate movement. If you have any hate, you do not belong here. You do not belong here. However that hate manifests itself, whether it's ableism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, misogyny, whatever that hate might be, it doesn't belong. We are a movement of tomorrow, of inclusion, of hope, and of love. And exactly what Basil was saying, where we are enacting laws to create protection. Let's be clear. Let's be very clear. There are Jews, quote unquote, who feel unsafe. Jews who feel unsafe. There are Jews here who are entirely safe. Jews are entirely safe amongst us. It's being weaponized against us. They might be uncomfortable. But that's not because of their Judaism. That's because of their entrenched belief in a political ideology that is supremacist and racist, and that's Zionism. If you are a Zionist, you should feel uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable. You should feel uncomfortable if you're okay with 10 babies freezing to death in tents. You should feel uncomfortable if your movement organised a protest outside of prison because those prison guards were arrested for gang raping a Palestinian to the point where he couldn't walk. If your ideology says that that rally is okay, that you should protest for the right to rape prisoners, there's a problem with your ideology and you should feel uncomfortable. It's got nothing to do with your Judaism. Most Zionists aren't Jewish. Most Zionists aren't Jews. This is not about Judaism. Our fight is against hate. However it manifests itself, my brothers and sisters, siblings, have courage. Have the courage to love, to share, to speak, to talk, to hug, embrace, and not be broken. Have the courage to stay strong. It might not feel like it, but I can tell you we're winning. The 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz is about to happen. And that war criminal, peak Zionist, Benjamin Netanyahu, can't go. He can't go because if he goes, the next stop after Poland is The Hague. The next stop after Poland is The Hague. He can't go. This was unimaginable 456 days ago. Unimaginable, my friends. Our heads of state will go, and we'll know, and we'll be able to keep them accountable and see what they say, how they link that European disease of anti-Semitism. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you wanted to protect Jews and punish somebody for the Holocaust, they should have given them part of Germany. Or Austria, for Hitler was Austrian. We, the Palestinians, didn't need to pay. Jews have always been safe there. They are safe here, and they'll be safe tomorrow in a liberated Palestine, where we'll all be safe, irrespective of our religion, how we celebrate God, for we are all children of Abraham. This past war, it is easy for us to feel defeated. You shouldn't feel defeated. Israel might be strategically, militarily stronger. Might be. But wars are not won purely on military arms. There has to be a political solution. And I want you to channel Norman Finkelstein here, who said, if you ever want to feel like you're useless, America, it took 20 years, trillions of dollars, and 4 US presidents to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. Yeah? So don't feel useless. The West's overwhelming military superiority in Afghanistan was no match for the Taliban's superior political organisation. The same in Vietnam, the same in Algeria, and it will be the same in Palestine. It will be the same in Palestine, my friend. So whenever you're at a low point, remember this, a lifelong activist. This is something I draw on whenever I feel a bit low. And this is for each and every one of you coming out in the new year, in 40 degrees and standing here in this heat. AJ Musti, who was a lifelong pacifist during the Vietnam War, stood in front of the White House every night with a candle. And a one-person protest, not the hundreds you've seen, not the thousands, the tens of thousands, even at one point 80,000 people marched for Palestine in the past 455 days. A one-person protest. And it was at the end of his life, and on a rainy night, a reporter said to him, Mr. Musti, do you really think that you are going to change the policies of this country by standing here alone at night with a candle? And he replied, I don't do it to change the country. I do it so the country won't change me. I do it so the country won't change me. We're here every Sunday, rain, hail or shine, we march for Palestine, so the country doesn't change us. So the country doesn't change us. For tomorrow we will be free, my friends. We will be free. Palestine will liberate us all from the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Let's march, everyone. I'll see you next Sunday. Word!